Hola, how was your long weekend, clase? Hi, Nikki. Hi, James. Buenos días, Kamura. I got the sun in my face. Ooh. ¿Cómo estamos? How are we today? Buenos días. Bien, muy bien. Oh, you guys, we have so much to do today. Ooh, yes. So, did you guys get to see the snow yesterday where you were? Chelsea, yes. It didn't pile up though, like last year, huh? Last year, you guys had a lot of snow. Hola, Priscilla. Christopher, ¿cómo estás? Yeah. How are we? What'd you guys do this weekend?
Hola, ¿cómo
James,
estás?
how are you? Estoy bien, gracias. Estoy muy bien. James, how about a camera? Priscilla, what's new and exciting, my friend?
Soy bueno.
Estás bien. All right, good job. Good job, Christopher.
Gracias.
De nada. Okay, I am going to share a screen with you guys. Okay, it's our bell work today while we wait for everybody else to join us. I'm going to share my screen. You guys just pop your answers in the chat. And don't yell at me too much about the Taylor Swift. She was just the first person that came to mind. Okay. Okay. Buenos días, Carolina, Lay, Heaven, Akari, ¿cómo estás? Cameras on, por favor. Okay, so which of the following adjective has the correct spelling that would describe Taylor Swift? Enamorado, contento, or ocupada? Good, Kimura. Pop it in the chat, you guys. Which has the correct spelling to describe Taylor Swift? Enamorado, contento, or ocupada? Good, Heaven. Yes. Good morning, Elizabeth, Charlie. I need cameras, please. You should be seeing my shared screen, which has the correct spelling. We're talking about those adjectives again. Enamorado, contento, or ocupada. Which one? Yes, Carlin, describes Taylor Swift. Elizabeth, good job. Good morning, Haley. Sorry. So we have three describing words, three adjectives up here, right, you guys? Taylor Swift está enamorado, contento, o ocupada. Which word is the correct one? Pop it in the chat. Haley, what do you say? Charlie, James, Lay, Priscilla, did you answer? Good, Haley. Priscilla, did you answer? Catalina, did you answer? Akari, we need cameras on, please. Spanish class is not meant to be passive, right? We need to be participative as much as possible. All right, so look, you guys, enamorado. Who remembers what that means? We see the word amor in there. What does enamorado? ¿Qué quiere decir enamorado? What's it mean? There's some hints on the screen. What is enamorado? Very good. In love, right? Like the Bugs Bunny there, the bunny. Muy bien. Good heaven. And then we had contento. What does contento mean? Who can tell me? You can unmute or pop it in the chat, whichever. Muy bien. Contento, content, right? Happy. Very good, Priscilla. Happy. Okay, what about ocupada? Again, based on the, got some hints on the screen there. Good, Priscilla. Right, busy, ocupada. So she, Taylor Swift, I imagine, is all of these things, right? She's in love with Travis Kelce. She's happy because she's doing her career and whatever, making all kinds of monies. And she's healthy, right? And then ocupada is busy. So she's obviously busy. So how do we know which one of these is the right one? Spelling. She's a female, you guys. Your answer should be ocupada. Why? Why is our only choice ocupada? Who can explain it to me? Why is our only choice ocupada? Yes, Heaven, very good. Good morning, Melanie. Good, Kimura. Who can explain to me why is our only choice up here ocupada? Haley, Charlie, Elizabeth. You guys already know this.
Ocupada is the only one with the feminine spelling.
Exactly. Gracias. Muchísimas gracias. It's the only feminine spelling. Since we're talking about Taylor Swift, who happens to be a female, ocupada, right? So just a little reminder, you guys, that we have to make these things match all the time, right? Masculine, feminine, singular, plural, right? It's always what we have to think about, okay? Okay, muy bien. So what are we doing today? Woo, we have so much to do, you guys. Hoy es martes. Again, we're not normally together on a Tuesday, so martes, el 20 enero. Y vamos a repasar para la prueba, right? So we're going to have a quiz on Thursday. I tried to remind you last week one day on the forms of estar and these emotions words, right? Because remember, we use a star when we're talking about like location. We use a star when we are describing like temporary conditions, you know, like if we're sick or how we're feeling at a given moment, if we're happy, if we're sad, if we're busy, if we're whatever. And we use ser, right, when we talk about permanent things like being tall or short or our profession, stuff like that, okay? So we're going to quiz on that. And so today what I would like us to do is review. And you know how I review, you guys. I always show you the actual quiz because I don't really like surprises. So we're going to do a little thing to warm up for that, and we'll talk about that. And I have a game kit for us if you're interested in helping. I mean, in practicing. Then we're going to review that mini lesson with my and your, right? Me and mis, tú and tus, su and sus, nuestro and nuestra, right? And so we're going to do something with that. And if we have time, okay, because I need y'all to stick with me today because I'm going to be looking for, I got so much going on. I got tabs everywhere, okay? And then we're going to talk about, because we're done with unit 1 on Mexico. And so to finish our unit on Mexico, we are going to talk about something called alebrije, un alebrije or los alebrijes, okay, which I love them. I love them, and we're going to figure out what they are, okay? So that's the plan. Again, lots to do today. So I need everybody with me, paying attention and, you know, working together. Okay, muy bien. So the first thing I'm going to do is this. I have a song. You know, my cheesy songs. I have a song. to help us remember a star. So again, our quiz is Thursday. Okay, so this is part of our quiz review. So I need everybody, if you've got a TV on, if you've got another monitor on, if you've got whatever, please turn all that stuff off during class. Okay. And give me a thumbs up when you're ready to listen to the song and look at the screen. You got to put, brain's got to put it together. All right. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Thank you, Kimura. I need everybody ready. Evan's ready. Catalina, you ready? Akari, Christopher, Elizabeth, Heaven, Carlin, Lay, James, Melanie. Yeah, Priscilla, Nikki, you ready? All right. All right, here we go. Let's listen.
I am estoy, you are estás, he is está, she is está, we are estamos, you all are estáis, they are están, they are están. I am estoy, you are estás, he is está, she is está, we all estamos, you all are estáis, they are están, they are están. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. Estoy, estás, estamos, estáis, están. Estoy, estás, estamos, estáis, están. I am estoy, you are estás, he is está, she is está, we all estamos, you all are estáis, they are están, they are están. Estoy, estás, estamos, estáis, están. Estoy, estás, estamos, estáis, están. Estoy, estás, estamos, estáis, están.
Okay. All righty. Muy bien. You guys, that was our little quick review for estar, right? And when to use it, right? And like, if you're just joining us, we have a lot to do today. So hang with me, right? The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna review for our quiz. So we did a star, right? So you'll need to know the forms of a star. And I'm getting ready here to pull up your quiz. Yeah, quiz is Thursday, again, if you just joined us. And as always, I'm just going to pull it up on the screen, let you guys look at it. We'll go over the instructions, let you ask any questions. I'm waiting on my computer, actually. And so Thursday, you guys, we will have finished that humongous, quickly, Nikki, long unit 1, right? And unit 1 essentially means, you guys, that we have all that we need, yeah, to move on. We won't talk about O's and A's and singulars and plurals. Those things it's going to be assumed that you get all that right, and we're just going to move on. Okay, so it's a big milestone, finishing up that big unit 1. And you guys have done a great job. Okay. All right. Take a look at my screen. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, take a look at my screen. If it lets me go back, maybe not. Okay. So this will be Thursday. Let me say it again. This will be Thursday. This will be the last thing that we do in Giant Unit 1. Okay. So it says for each sentence, you will need to put the correct form of S star and the correct form of the describing word or the emotion, right? So just like we did today with Taylor Swift, right? Which one is it? Pay attention to masculine, feminine, singular, plural as always. You will not repeat them. Okay. You don't need to worry about spelling because you are going to actually do the typing. Okay. So I will grade this manually. However, that means that you need to show me that it's masculine or feminine, singular or plural. Okay. So in other words, you can't have had the whole word correctly spelled, but if it was supposed to be feminine and you didn't make it feminine, it's going to be incorrect. Okay. You will need to use a Spanish keyboard or something to show me that you know that a star needs an accent mark. And the reason, again, is because if we don't have a star, the accent marks, it changes the meaning. So we need to get into the habit of including the accent mark. Okay. As always, you'll have 3 attempts. As always, no online resources, no notes, right? No AI, no help in any way, shape, or form. Okay. All right. Any questions on the instructions? Again, this will be Thursday. I just want to show it to you. Okay. So here's what you're going to see. Check it out. This is all you're going to see. So in the first box, you would type in with the accent mark, if it needs one, you will type in the form of a star. In the second one, you will respond based on the emoji. So this guy's a sleepyhead. So tired. What is the word for tired? And you'll type it in. I'm not worried about spelling, with the exception of you got to tell me masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. That has to be correct in the spelling. Okay. And you'll have 9 of them. Okay. Everybody with me? Give me thumbs up if you understand what you're going to need to do on Thursday. Okay. So, gracias. So today we just listened to our song. We just did our forms of a star. Remember in Canvas, you have all of your slides to help you remember what the emotions mean, because you're going to have to figure it out based on those emoji. Okay, that's the easiest way to do it. And then for today, I want to, I have a GIM kit, and I'm going to let us play that GIM kit for about 5 or 6 minutes or so, just to help you with the words. Okay. So give me just a second and I will put that GIM kit link in your chat. And I want everybody, please, to join in. Spanish class, like I say, is not a passive venture. You need to practice. All right, it's giving me the link here. All right. There's your link. We are 16 people. I should see 16 people in this game. There's 16 of you and 1 of me. got 8. I need 8 more of you. Remember, I'm not playing, right? So you guys are going to ignore me. I need 7 more. I need 6 more. Good morning, Aslan. We need cameras on, you guys. I'm not sure where y'all think the rules may have changed. The rules have not changed. Cameras on and active participation. You can do this. Okay, so you are able to join late. I'm going to go ahead and start the game, but everybody else needs to join in. Okay. All right, here we go. Buena suerte. Remember to ignore me. All right, Priscilla. Good job, Kimura. Come on, Chris. Come on, Elizabeth, Catalina, and Melanie. You can come back to this. Carla, more game. Come on. Good job, Stacy. Somebody needs to get Kimura. Okay, we got 22 seconds, 20 seconds. Make it happen. Oh, all right. All right, you guys. Bueno. Okay. Good job, Kimura. Round of applause for Kimura, Priscilla, Haley. Sí, muy bien. Okay, questions, you guys. Questions. Was there one particular thing that maybe was the hardest for you that you want to ask about or anything like that before the quiz? This is our opportunity. Be a star is still a little tricky. Yeah. Well, you know, if we look at it like this, maybe if you can look at the word a star ends in an AR, right? Get rid of the AR. That gives us the root or the stem, EST. And then we have to add an ending. So yo is flip-flopped. YO becomes OY, estoy. Yeah. And then it's ASA, almost, and on. ASA, almost on. ASA, almost on. ASA, almost on. Right? If that helps any. ASA, almost on. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of like training our brain, I think, you know. That's all part of learning this. Okay. But you're right. Okay. And we're gonna see that ASA, almost an on, in unit 2. So that's kind of a we'll see it again. Okay. Well, all right. Any other questions, you guys, before we switch gears? So that's quiz review. Quiz is Thursday. If you think of a question, holler at me. Okay. All right. Last week, we started a mini lesson on how to show that we own something, right? So we can say like, el perro es de Juan, right? The dog belongs to Juan. We had that word de. Or we can say, su perro, it's his dog, right? Su perro, it's his dog. So we had all of those. So I just want to kind of refresh our memory on those a minute, and then we're going to practice those as well. So give me a second, and I will get that screen pulled up for us again. It is in your module and in the resource library always, right? You guys know that that's always your first place to go if you need help. Now, give me a second, waiting on my computer. Okay, so this is what you're going to see in your resource library. Okay, take a look at my screen, you guys. So we have me or mis, tu and tus, su and sus for his, her, or your, if it's formal, like usted. If it's nosotros, our, and we need to say it's our dog, it's our house, we have nuestro, nuestra, nuestros, or nuestras. That's the only one where you have to worry about masculine, feminine, singular, plural, because it ends in an O, right? And then we had their, su or sus, or your, if it's ustedes, like you all, right? Su or sus. So here are the 5 mimis, tutus, susus, nuestro, and susus, right? But look up here, you guys, check this out. The choice of which one of these to use is based on what is owned, not the owner. Okay? On what is owned, not the owner. So, for example, if I want to say my dog, mi perro, and there's only one dog. But if I have more than, if I'm still one person, but I have more than one dog, right? Then I would say mis perros, my dogs, right? So it's about what we're owning, not the owner. Okay. So I put that example in there for you as well. So this is what we did last week. Okay. So I'm getting ready to put you guys another link in the chat so that we can practice this. So give me a second. I have all these links today, I'm telling you. Probably more than usual. But what I don't know is whether or not you're going to be blocked. So I'm going to put this link in the chat, and then you guys let me know. Or I can look at you and go Guardian, but check out the chat. Charlie, if you can hear me, you need to join us. Akari, same for you. Yay, Kimura. All right, so what you should see here, Heaven, does it work for you? Carlin, Lay, I need you to join. It should be the game show format. Okay, so I have about, I don't know, it's not quite 10 till. I'll give you guys about 5 minutes, or it may not even take you that long. You can play it as many times as you want. That's okay, Nick. Let me give you the link though, Nikki, so you can practice. Try that, Nikki. Stacy, is it working for you? James, click the button. Haley, click the button, see what happens. Aslan. So, let's see. Akari, check the chat, please. Charlie. So once you play the game show, on the right-hand side, you should see a list of like other types of games. If you want to try it again in a different type of game, go ahead and do that. Stacy, is it not loading for you? So those of you who are choosing not to participate, I can easily call home, send an email home. I don't want to have to do that. You all are old enough to know what you need to do when you're in class. Yay, Kimura. Okay, another minute. Maybe finish that up. Good job. Good job, Heaven.
From idea to submission, empower.
All right. Okay, you guys, I'm going to ask you to back out of that word wall so we have time to do our next best thing. Okay. Good job. You guys did a great job. So to officially finish that ginormous unit 1, okay, just a reminder, I'm going to share my screen, take a look at my screen, that in Canvas, in your VHL, right, you have those assignments that have like the little firework kind of starbursty thing to remind you that they are in VHL. And so you have several of those. We want to make sure that we get those completed so that we can say that we are officially done with Unit 1 before we have to start Unit 2. Okay? So those are just a reminder. Those due dates obviously are coming up because today is the 20th. Okay? So you have some due Wednesday, you have some due Friday. All right? Any questions about VHL, how to access them? Just shoot me an inbox. Okay? So once you're done with those, we are officially done. And we take our quiz on Thursday. We are officially done with Unit 1. And you guys should really give yourselves a round of applause because that is actually a huge endeavor. Okay? Pat yourselves on the back. Okay. Let's switch gears. We're going to talk about something called alebrijes. Does anybody know what an alebrijes is? Do you conoces a los alebrijes? Anybody ever heard that word? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, see, no, whatever. Alebrijes. They're beautiful things, and we're going to look at what they are. Kimura says no. Anybody else? Anybody ever heard of an alebrije? I bet you've seen them, and you don't know that you've seen them. Very good, Elizabeth. Do you remember where? Okay, so I have for us part of a video. I want you to make sure that you can hear this because you're going to have a couple of activities attached to these, right? So we want to make sure that you're getting sort of the background information. So make sure that you can hear
Our students to do their best work with Grammarly's comprehensive AI writing assistant. In the neighborhood.
Okay, this goes fast. I'm going to try to slow it down. Okay. It is in English, but he just talks so fast. Okay. All right, here we go. I wouldn't log off because you are going to have projects associated with this. So I don't know who just left, but let's hope they rejoin.
Merced Albuena, in the intersection of San Nicolas and Oriente. Through this rusty iron door and up 2 flights of stairs, you will meet the family that changed Mexican folk art forever. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you.
Mi nombre es Leonardo Linares Vargas y me dedico a hacer alebrijes.
Alebrijes, the fantastical creatures traditionally made out of paper mache. Across Mexico, you can find these beautiful monsters everywhere. You can find them in the streets, in the museums. There are workshops of alebrijes scattered around the city. And there's even a huge parade of monumental alebrijes that takes over Mexico City once a year. Ah, and you can catch them in Coco.
Are those alebrijes?
But what exactly is an alebrije?
Un alebrije para mí es una figura pues fantástica que tiene que llevar mínimo 3 elementos de tierra, agua y fuego y aire, ¿no? De tierra pues podría llevar un león, de aire puede llevar un pájaro, de fuego los ojos saltones, las lenguas viperinas, y de mar podría llevar unas aletas, unas crestas, ¿no? Para poder más o menos llevar una composición de lo que sería, bueno, para mí, Leonardo sería un alebrije.
And all of this vast tradition can be traced back to one man, Pedro Linares, Leonardo's grandpa, who said that after falling into a coma, had a nightmare where some very dark and horrific creatures kept screaming the word alebrije to him. Not long after waking up, he started building the first alebrijes. And now his son and grandchildren continue the tradition.
Mi abuelo, te digo, los hizo tan feos que no se le vendían, entonces él empezó a modificarlos también un poco, pues metiéndoles color, no haciéndolos tan terroríficos. Y mi papá es el que les da toda la plasticidad, todo el movimiento. Mi papá les da toda la creatividad de meterles ya más plumitas, más grequitas, más ojos saltones, meterles más crestas, o sea, hacerlos más armoniosos, ¿no? Mi abuelo y nosotros, yo creo que nunca pensamos lo que iba a repercutir y el alcance que iba a tener las figuras que en su momento mi abuelo pues había visto, ¿no? en su estado comatoso. Todo lo que se ha hecho pues siempre ha salido de aquí, o sea, primero ha sido inspiración de aquí y después pues ya mucha gente ya lo reproduce. Porque es importante el arte, porque es parte de nuestra esencia, ¿no? Como país, como pueblo. Muchas veces nos han llamado los guardianes pues así que del arte popular.
Okay, question. How did these things get started? What did they explain to us? You can unmute, feel free to unmute. How did these alebrijes come to be? What did you get from the video? Okay, very good. Kimura, anybody else? How did these things come to be, you guys? Anybody? Only Kimura was listening? Who else was listening? Where did these things come from? Yes, very good, Elizabeth. Anyone else? So let's think about this 1 second. This man, his name is Pedro Linares. He was sick, right? Fell into a coma. Happens to people every day, unfortunately, right? He had this dream while he was in a coma. He saw these fantastical creatures and this word that means nothing, like it doesn't exist. This word did not exist before this man was in his coma. Okay, these things did not exist before this one man was in his coma. And he kept hearing this word in his head, alebrije, alebrije. He could have ignored it when he woke up from his coma, right? But he didn't. He started to make the things that he saw out of paper mache, okay? Just to make them because he saw them and that's what he called them because that's what he heard in his head, okay? Made up word. And from that point to today, okay, there are alebrijes parades. There are alebrijes in stores everywhere. And you probably may have seen them and just didn't realize what they were. Okay, they can be small, they can be large, they can be whatever. There are alebrijes in museums all over the world. Yeah, not just in the United States, but all over the world. This one guy, you guys, was in a coma and had these visions. And now we have them in museums all over the world. Think about it. And parades, and people reproduce them and buy them and stuff like that. Okay, because of this one guy, right? So he created this new art form, this new type of folk art, essentially. Now, not only are they in stores everywhere, not only are they in parades, not only are they in museums everywhere, but how many of you have ever seen the movie Coco? And you know, I've talked about Coco before, and I've shown you things about Coco before, because Coco is an amazing production with regards to Mexican culture. Okay, we looked at parts of Coco for the when we did the Dia de los Muertos, right? If you've never seen Coco, you really should. So I have a clip for you, okay, of the dog. His name was Dante. Yeah, Kimura, right. And the dog is gonna turn into this, you know, like spirit animal, and he's gonna turn into an alebrije. Okay, essentially. So this one guy in a coma had these weird visions, and Disney's making movies with alebrijes. Okay, so let's watch.
Pensé que era mi papá Héctor todo el tiempo. Eres un guía espiritual. ¿Quién es un guía espiritual? ¡Tú eres!
Okay, so who remembers, you guys, what are the 4 elements that the Linares man was telling us that we have to include for it to be an alebrije? Very good, Kimura. Anybody else pay attention? What are the 4 elements that need to be included in what is an alebrije? Anybody remember? What elements from nature have to be included to be a real like alebrije? Good, Elizabeth was listening. Muy bien. Anyone else? So there has to be like something from earth. Yeah, so an animal that lives on earth, like the dog, for example, or a lion or something. Good heaven. Wind. So things like wings, maybe crests, you know, stuff like that. Different things that have to do with wind. Tail, you know, fancy feathery tail or something. Fire. So you can have, you know, like a tongue that looks like flames, or some, you know, they're all colorful, right? So maybe something on them that had like flames or whatever. Okay. Or like if they had like a spine down their back that maybe like a stegosaurus, you know, but it would be like flames, right? So something to do with fire. And then water. So you could have like scales, you could have fins, you could have flippers, you could have all kinds of things, something to do with water. So the real deal alebrije shows at least 3 of those elements: earth, wind, water, and fire. Okay, so keep that in mind, because you're going to need that. Okay, one more thing I'm going to show you today, and then I'll show you how we're going to switch gears. Okay. a second. Waiting on my good old computer. It's really not my computer, it's my internet provider. Have you guys ever, my question to you, I guess, is have you guys ever seen an alebrije and just not realize that that's what you were seeing? Like at a toy store or maybe at a market? Has anyone ever seen one? Okay. So like a marketing thing from Coco. Yeah, but we didn't know that's what they were called, right? Absolutely. Well, it doesn't look like my computer's gonna let me. Okay, well, it's not gonna let me, so let's just move on. Okay, so keeping in mind, you guys, quiz Thursday, and we're gonna finish up our alebrijes. Here's what I would like us to do. We have roughly 15 minutes left. Everybody needs to finish Unit 1. Progress reports are coming up, where all of your stuff has got to be turned in by February 4th. So essentially we got 2 weeks, this week and next week, which this week is a short week. And so I need for everybody to go to Canvas, go to your Canvas gradebook, see what you're missing from third quarter, go to VHL, go to the calendar, see what you need to get done. Most of you have not done your VHL activities. So I should see most of you in VHL and get those finished. Sometimes they're confusing. So you stay online with me. This is all part of class. If you have a question, I can help you. Okay. Okay, Christopher, can you find your VHL? Haley? The easiest way, you guys, to access your VHL is through Canvas because it gives you the title, right? Find the little firework, little star looking icon and click on that. That's the easiest way. Or go to the calendar, right? Go to the calendar in VHL and access them there. What I don't want to see is when I have to do progress report things or figure up grades for Unit 1, I do not want to see blanks because I'm giving you an opportunity. So please take the opportunity. Click on one of those, Christopher. No, that's just a reading. Yeah, you just read that first page that pops up, Kimura. When you click on those presentations, remember they're just one point, and basically they're just there to remind you, like for you to use as a resource before you go on to the practice. Okay. I don't think there is one for the presentation. I don't think there is a submit because you're not doing anything. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be quiet because some of those are listening exercises, you guys. Okay, you guys have about 2 minutes. Remember to check your grades in Canvas. Some of you are missing guided notes and some other things. We need to put a real big push, you guys, on getting all this third quarter stuff completed. So you have about a minute left. Finish up what you're working on. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, you guys, that's our time. Quiz Thursday. Okay. You can always reach out in Canvas inbox if you have a question. Okay. All right. Nos vemos jueves. Adiós. Nos vemos jueves.